Talk Radio.
Welcome to Spotlite Radio. Spotlite is the place to meet the most interesting people, executives, professionals, and today's most notable experts share their wealth of knowledge and vast experience with us live. Listen and learn in depth directly from today's leaders and tomorrow's highest climbers. Spotlite Radio shines on the people that you want to hear every day, on demand and in real time on SpotliteRadio.com. The world's most fascinating people are right here on Spotlite Radio.
Welcome to Spotlite Radio. I'm your host, Jessica Stern. Today we are proud to put the spotlight on Dr. Doug Capagrossi. Dr. Doug Capagrossi, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Dr. Doug Capagrossi is based in Hilo, Hawaii, and is the president of Akamai University. Please introduce yourself and speak about your background and contributions.
Aloha. I am Dr. Doug Capagrossi, and presently I serve as the president of Akamai University on the island of Hawaii. I was born in Ithaca, a micropolitan community in upstate New York, where Cornell University, Ithaca College, and a large three-county community college are located. I was raised in a working-class Italian-American neighborhood. I now live in Keau, Hawaii, with Sally Angeline, my wife of 26 years. We have 5 beautiful children, all doing well in their early adult years. I earned 3 college degrees, all at Cornell University, a Bachelor of Science in Business Management, a Master of Science in Curriculum and Instruction. And in 1994, I went back and earned a PhD in Adult and Continuing Education, all from Cornell, where I completed an extensive dissertation investigating the effectiveness of the American education system. Interestingly, the most surprising finding was that graduates who emerge from our schools with a high level of aspiration for their lives are most likely to succeed in their early adult challenges. Over the past 5 decades, I have directed a variety of successful formal and non-formal education programs, including trade apprenticeships, work experience projects, on-the-job training programs with both industry and the human services, adult job training through center-based programs. I've served as president at 3 distance learning institutions and have provided leadership in achieving recognition, institutional accreditation with 2 schools, guiding their faculty toward world-class curriculum and institutional integrity. In 1970s, I facilitated development of New York State Rural Initiative, a statewide community-based literacy project integrating the need for adult literacy with community development ventures in some of the poorest counties of New York State. This was funded by the Community and Rural Development Institute at Cornell. I hold permanent secondary teaching credentials in commerce and social studies with special lifetime certification to teach emotionally disturbed older adolescents. I have held leadership roles with 2 major federal pilot studies in the USA identifying effective models for educating at-risk youth outside the traditional school environment. I coordinated innovative community-based education projects for troubled youths through Board of Cooperative Educational Services in New York State. I also have served as an instructor with the Office of Continuing Education at Cornell University, where I developed and instructed 2 distance learning classes in basic and business accounting for career track employees in the food industry. These were all quite formative for me. I'm also an experienced human service administrator, having worked in a wide variety of settings. I served as the founding executive director with the South Valley Collective, a shelter for homeless farm worker families in the southern Santa Clara Valley in California. This was a self-sufficient program assisted by the Christian community. I worked at the League, an authorized legal center for the low-income and welfare recipients, a program which was recipient of multi-million-dollar funds for intervention with poverty community in San Jose metropolitan area. I served as planning director with the United Minority Coalition in San Jose, helping a number of community organizations find ways to collaborate in helping the poorest members of the community. I also worked for a number of years as director of planning with the Community Service Organization in San Jose, a Mexican-American agency originally established by Cesar Chavez. I was assistant director and interim director with Tompkins County Economic Opportunity Corporation in Ithaca, the local community action agency, managing the federal and state programs for low-income residents, such as Head Start, Section 8 housing, food stamp outreach, low-income energy assistance programs, and many others, as I recall, carrying a multi-million-dollar budget. I've held top management positions with industry, serving as the general manager at Micrographic Systems, an innovative medical camera manufacturing firm in Santa Clara. For a number of years, I operated America Builders, a successful licensed general contracting firm in California. I have extensive community volunteer experience emphasizing implementation and development of nonprofit organizations, provided preparation for the founding documents, and I served as an officer of the founding board. I was instrumental in developing an international professional membership organization dedicated to the amelioration of major world problems, a multinational interagency coalition for cooperative ventures, a multicultural human service coalition, an emergency service organization, and an athletic league. In recent years, was among the founders of a cross-border accrediting agency for universities.
Well, congratulations. You've made tremendous strides. And what are you currently doing in your career?
At the present time, I serve as president at Akamai University in Hilo, Hawaii. Serving since its founding in May of 2002, I provided oversight for effective development and operation of this graduate university. I'm responsible to appoint and oversee administrative staff for the Hilo-based, Hawaii-based headquarters and the academic program leaders from many nations. And I also serve to assure the high quality of the curriculum instruction, provide leadership in the development of institutional policies and procedures. Our faculty and students represent more than 40 nations worldwide. Presently, I also uphold an ongoing contract with the state of Hawaii as a correctional educator with the Department of Public Safety. I've worked part-time in the prison facility since 2003. This engagement with the local correctional facilities has permitted me to establish and conduct educational programs and services for male and female inmates in the fields of parenting effectiveness training, essential career skills, and readiness for transition back to work, family, and community. Yep. So.
Wonderful. And could you clarify your long history of community voluntary service?
Certainly. I have taken the lead in writing the founding documents and serving on the founding board for many nonprofit organizations. I'll name a few of them. International Distance Education Accreditation League in the Philippines, Akamai University, Communities United, the Global Institute for Strategic Management, and EarthNet Institute, all designed to advance the human condition. I was fortunate also to help establish the local Jam Volleyball League here in Hilo, Hawaii, back in 1996, together with other local parents for middle school girls.
And have you published any academic works you wish to mention?
Most of my scholarly written work falls into the category of assurance of academic excellence for non-traditional higher education programs, especially cross-border programs and distance learning institutions. These are the programs that are most often challenged as substandard by traditional educators. The first of my published works was written just before the inception of Akamai University back in 2002. It was published in the Journal for Higher Education in Europe and was titled Assurance of Academic Excellence Among Non-Traditional Universities. The most recent article I published in 2011, similar, the assurance of academic excellence among international cross-border graduate universities, prepared in honor of the 25th anniversary of the Accrediting Agency of Chartered Colleges and Universities in the Philippines for their 25th anniversary publication, emphasizing quality assurance, concepts, structures, and practices.
Tell us about the mission of Akamai University.
At Akamai, my colleagues and I hope over time to contribute in a meaningful manner toward betterment of the human condition through quality ventures in education, research, and human services. Akamai is an advanced institution of higher learning with headquarters in Hilo, Hawaii. We're established as a nonprofit tax-exempt organization governed by a voluntary board of directors, the majority being residents of East Hawaii. The mission of Akamai is founded on the premise that amelioration of major world problems and the creation of sustainable lifestyles and global practices are the hallmarks of responsible individual and corporate world citizenship. As generators of new knowledge and developers of new systems, our sole mission as an institution has been the advancement of the human condition and sustainability of the planet. Since our beginning, Akamai University has worked closely under the advisement of the Millennium Project, which you all might know originally founded as a program of the United Nations University. The Millennium Project has delineated 15 global challenges that provide a framework for addressing our future and the global prospects for humanity. These global challenges served as a guide for Akamai as we progressed in determining our founding mission, vision, goals, and objectives. From these global challenges, we have generated the underpinnings for generating our degree programs, which include applied psychology, integrated psychology, transpersonal psychology, business and economic development, applied eco-psychology and environmental studies, educational leadership and literacy, teaching English to speakers of other languages, public health administration, complementary therapies, integrated health studies, sustainability studies, and peace, diplomacy, and international relations. We have executive development seminars in Asia for business and education professionals, conducted in cooperation with the award-winning EDS Business School in Malaysia. And we have associate's degree programs now operated in Ghana, West Africa, for well-qualified, career-minded individuals in collaboration with the well-respected organization, Ambassadors College. This all started from a well-thought-out strategic plan from the university. 10 years ago, we drew together a statement of some of the major problems we had hoped over time to address through our mission. Would it be all right if I discussed a few of these?
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
Okay, the World Bank and the United Nations a few years back stated that roughly 1.3 billion people live in absolute poverty, with nearly 25 million being added to their numbers each year. Hundreds of millions of people have no running water to drink or bathe themselves. 100 million people do not have homes to live in and must spend their lives on the streets and pavements, their children never knowing the security of a suitable shelter. Also, a few years back, the United Nations Environmental Program they indicated that already more than 10% of the Earth's vegetated surface has been degraded, an area larger than India and China combined. This desertification caused by overgrazing domestic animals, overcultivation, and deforestation has already begun to impact over 35% of the land surface of the Earth and the situation is worsening.